Good evening. So, we have seen the fundamental aspects yesterday. Now, we shall further get on to some technical things, what we felt they are technology. Because we have come across some statements like computer is an electronic device. We basically don't know what is electronics. And we have a statement, computer understands binary system. So it's bloody a dummy statement because computer has no brain to understand things. Let us get on to that. AI system has intelligence, those nonsense. Okay, keep that beside. They are made to behave like a human being. That's it. Nothing more than that. They cannot behave like a human being because they are missions. Of course, they can do miracles, but miracles. I have a statement. Miracles are made by fools to satisfy idiots. So let us not get on to that particular latest technological things like, let us try to understand the core concept first of all. Basically, this electronics general definition, what people give is something wrong, something it is, say, if even if you start thinking, you feel it is a dummy statement or it is a clumsy statement. They say electronics is a branch of engineering. Even let us think then electricals, it is a branch of engineering. Computers is a branch of engineering. The hell with these kind of statements, they'll misguide you. So try understanding things in a proper way. Let us be onto one aspect, like we have a system. And the basic things what we identify is the system has a monitor and system has a keyboard. Of course, there is a mouse, a keyboard beside. System has something called a CPU. Everything is taken care by CPU that we have seen yesterday. Your CPU includes a microprocessor, main memory, that what we are supposed to concern with, and auxiliary memory as a hard disk basically. And this microprocessor, it is like a mixie. It has the two components, one that actually performs process, second one that stores data during process. And main memory is our workspace. Auxiliary memory is used for storing for future. Now the question is, the moment you type a 5 in keyboard, obviously it will be displayed on monitor, either using either a text editor like Notepad or whatever it is. See, now the question is how this 5 is transferred from keyboard into monitor. It is very easy of saying uh, it went in a binary system. Why the hell binary system is what you are supposed to understand. Unless you understand why the hell binary system, you will never have confidence on what you are doing with the system, because a system is entirely extremely different world from what we are thinking, what we do. Because I faced a problem with mathematics almost say 40 years ago. I have been taught with binary system in the school when I was in fifth class. Our teacher said 101 plus 101. That turns up into something. 1 plus 1 is 10. So all this 0 plus 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is again 10. There is nothing here. So we say it is 1010. This addition that has been taught later. Before that, I could not understand why should I use this? Why should I line this? Because at the beginning itself they taught me 5. You are supposed to divide into 2 to convert into binary system. Say 2 twos are 4, left is 1. They said 2 ones are 2, so the left is 0. And 2 zeros are 0, it is 1. From bottom to top, it is 101 base 2. Say I was topper in my class. When my sir gave some 10 to 15, these kind of numbers, I did the entire work. I was the first one to complete all 15 numbers converted into binary system. Then I had a doubt. I asked my sir, during my fifth class. Sir, where should I use this? If I go to a shop, I ask, can you get me a 1 dozen of bananas? Whether I should ask, give me 5 bananas, or should I ask, give me 101 bananas? Where should I use this? He slapped me. He slapped me and said, just learn this. Okay, I learned, but later on I uh, reduced interest on subjects only because of these kind of statements that I come across. Like it is in your syllabus, you learn that. But good teachers may teach correctly, but it is not a guarantee that if a good teacher teaches correctly, uh, good student will understand, utilize it properly. And there is no guarantee that we will have only good students in a classroom. There are bad students also. Similarly, Similarly, there can be good teachers, there can be bad teachers. If you get a good teacher, he'll teach you in a correct way. If you get a bad teacher, you will learn in a correct way. Because because as such they have not explained, you will try to understand on your own. That makes you more stronger than a good student, a good teacher combination. Because there are chances that we become a bit reckless uh, when the things go on between a good teacher and a good student. But the moment you get a bad teacher, you ultimate become a useless fellow or you become a masterpiece of that particular concept. And even today scenario, you have lot many BTech electronics communications, a lot many professionals, not only students. They know computer works with binary system. They don't know why. And they know a computer is an electronic device. And they don't know, okay, it is a technical concept. It is not concerned with us. But the thing is, it is a very, what do you call, very simple, easy thing to understand. Just let us move ahead with some concept. What is that? How this five is transferred from this location to this location. Before getting into that, we should come across one basic statement here. You know, we should keep these things in mind before getting into that concept. Something important. You have come across Ohm's law. Ohm's law starts with at a constant temperature, and there is further formula. Okay, we are not physics professional, or we are not getting onto say pure uh, electrical concepts. We are not much bothered about the rest of these things. Just only concentrate on this because your physics, it has its own limitations. Physical science is not everything. You have biological science. Biological science has its own concepts. Biological science cannot be used as a proof for physical science. Physical science cannot be used as proof for chemical science. Physical science restrictions, it specifies that whatever the formula in physics, you get the same statement like at a constant temperature and rest of the formula. Now forget about rest of the formula. Just remember that at a constant temperature. And what Ohm has identified is something called resistance. Whatever the formula it is, V is equal to IR or V is directly proportional to R, I is inversely whatever the formula it is. Let us not bothering about the formulas. Let us think about the concept. The concept what Ohm has identified is resistance, generally represented like a speed breaker symbol on the road, right? Keep this in mind. He identified resistance, and uh, I know because I have come across in teaching things since past 24 years. I know all these students who have completed their intermediate have done potential difference problem in their examinations in physics. They know potential is what energy level, and no, there is something called a difference in that energy level. If current is flown through a medium from place A to place B, and if at point A, if it is 10 volt, The moment current is flown to point B, it will be somewhat 9 point x volt. It could be 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, 9.9, but it is 100% guarantee that it will never be 10 volt here at point B, because this calculation has been done and many people know we have this potential difference. But why this potential difference is no one thinks. It is a simple thing. You get a potential difference only because of this resistance. You have a medium has a cross section area, and cross section area, the moment you have a cross section area, obviously you will have a resistance. That resistance has been identified by that ohm, based on that, based on material, based on temperature, the medium may contrast or expand. The moment there will be a variation in the level of resistance based on temperature. So there is no 100% guarantee that you always get 9.5 volt here. Based on temperature, it could be 9.3 volt. It can also be 9.9 volt. But it is 100% guarantee that you don't get a 10 volt at place B. So you get this potential difference only because of the resistance. Just keep this particular thing in mind, that there is an effect of resistance because of which you have potential difference. Now, now get on to this particular aspect. Now, the moment you type 5 here, how this 5 has been transferred to this location. Let us take an example. You have a keyboard, you have some step up transformer, step down transformer, and you have some battery that is source of current. And the moment you you hit the key 5 in keyboard, the transformer has produced X voltage of current. And that battery has produced X voltage of current, and your transformers, they increased or decreased this X voltage to 5 volt because you typed 5. And this, if this 5 volt is transferred through the wire to into the CPU, and from CPU into the monitor, the monitor has got something like a voltmeter, and that checks voltage. If it is 5 volt, it will display 5. If it is 10 volt, it will display 10. Could be computer may work in this way, but if computer works in this way, there are lot many problems. Just identify the problem, that the computer, though it works with the current, it never works with current with voltages. This is something important that we are supposed to remember at all. Now, keeping this beside, then what is the solution for this? What is the problem if it is like this? If computer works with the voltages, what is the problem? The first one is you will never have accuracy, because because the 5 voltage is transferred through the wire. Wire has the cross section area, so obviously there will be resistance for that particular wire at that particular temperature. Say obviously you will never get 5 here. You may get 4.9, sometimes we may get 4.5, sometimes we may get 3.5. It is based on resistance. This is the first basic core problem that we can identify. We may get a doubt. Why should we identify these problems? Why should we work with problems? Is because irrespective of the graduation you do, whether it is BTech or BE or MTech, MCA, or any general undergraduation like BCA or BSc, whatever it is, the moment you get into a software company, irrespective of your group, you prefer getting into a software company. I know, because we people are say habituated to have that feel that someone who is in a software company can do anything. Even the people in software company, they behave so with their attitude, so we feel so that we are supposed to satisfy ourselves with that particular attitude. So we prefer getting into software company. The moment you get into a software company, obviously you will be working with a computer. and you will be programming, and you will be called a software engineer in very near future. Remember this term? You will be a programmer. Later on, you become a software engineer after some time, where you may get a question, what is engineering? Engineering, many people say engineering is a concept of creating something new, right? Why to create something new? To develop technology is a bloody funny statement. Don't get onto these kind of things. All these are useless statements. You say uh, it is these kind of statements are made and made people to think in a wrong way. Say it is something like a mass hysteria statements. All those are literally no sense statements. There is nothing called new technology development, right? Technology is what we had a definition yesterday. Technology is a common sense applied. You should have common sense applied. Say engineering is a concept of creating something new to overcome problems in existing system. Say unless you identify the problems in existing system, you will never be in a position of creating something new without that problems. If you create something new without that problems, then people will use it. If still it has that problems, then it is meaningless of creating something new with problems. So engineering is a concept of creating something new to overcome problems in existing systems. Say this is what the existing system, you have current, you have keyboard, you have monitor. If what happens if computer works with the current? It is supposed to work with voltages. If it works with voltages, you have no accuracy. And moreover, you cannot add a 5 volt plus the 10 volt, because the moment you add 5 volt plus 10 volt, it will obviously give 10 volt, because your physics says lesser energy is merged into higher energy. That's it. This you people have experienced, because all you people get 230 volt, 240 volt electricity into your home, because of which your TV, your fan, all these household items, they run with a 230 volt, 240 volt, 220 volt. And you would have seen wires that pass on from a town to another town. They carry voltage, not at a level of 230, 240 volt. It will be, say, 2 kV, 5 kV, say 2000 volt, 5000 volt, 10,000 volt. Say the moment you get on to 2 kV, 2 kilowatt is what 2000 volt. If by mistake, now see this is a wire of your home, and this is a wire in which your 2 kV, 2 kilowatt of current is going on. If this wire is broken, cut, and this wire touches this wire, then you obviously get a 2000 volt into your home, where all your TV, fridge, whatever the home appliances you are using that work with the 230 volt, they burn off. You will never be in a position of using them again, because the board will be burnt, because the board is designed to work with the 220 volt. Thing is, you will 100% get 2000 volt only. And here you will never have 2230 volt. You will obviously have 2000 volt. And even you cannot do 10 minus 5. If your computer works with the uh, voltages, you cannot even do 10 minus 5, because you have a home, your house, and you have a current pole here. You have another current pole here. There is a wire uh, put on by electricity department, and they are sending some around 240 volt of current, and your home to be working with all these bulbs, fans, etc., etc. You establish the connection using a wire that receives 230 volt. If your house received 230 volt, then the house very next to your house should get only 10 volt, because you have withdrawn 230 volt from this 240 volt. The left is 10 volt, but it is not happening. Say practically, 10 minus 5, say 10 volt minus 5 volt will obviously give you 10 volt. That's it. You cannot withdraw 5 volt from, you cannot minus the 5 volt from 10 volt. These are impractical things because that is a subject related with electricals. See, being a professional of computer, I say it is a dustbin department. Unless you have knowledge of electricals, electronics, and logic designing, mathematics, physics, all this put together becomes a computer. And unless you have all these things in your mind, you cannot become a computer professional. Now, now the thing is, what is the solution for this? So we have lot many problems. You cannot do addition, subtraction, etc. You cannot do basic arithmetic operations. You will not have accuracy. So to overcome all these problems, people started thinking in a different way. People started thinking in a different way. This different way is something important that we are supposed to understand. Yeah, let me have some kind of thing, some story to understand things. Actually, you have a keyboard, you have a monitor, and between that you have, say they are connected through a wire, of course, via CPU. Keep that CPU beside, they are connected with wire. If you cut open and see that wire, in olden days we used to have keyboards with different standards, like you have DIN 4 connector, DIN 5 connector, say where serial mouse, uh, all those things. They had number of different number of wires. Nowadays, we people have all wireless mouses, wireless keyboards, and of course USB mouses, USB keyboards. The moment you open, you cut open and see that wire. Obviously, if it is in case of USB, you have five wires. In case of even PS2 mouses, you have five wires because thing goes on as it works out with serial transmission. Uh, for our concept understanding, let me come up with a statement which is practically not happening, but we are supposed to understand the concept like this. If you cut open that wire of your keyboard and see, assume there are eight wires. Why eight wires is because you have 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. So just remember this much. Why 1 byte has 8 bits, that we'll see later. So if you cut open and see you have eight wires, just remember this, your keyboard. From keyboard, there are eight wires coming out. These eight wires are connected to your monitor. Now, this is your keyboard, and assume there is a physical setup like you have a special battery. Say, of course, battery is a source of current, but thing is, I said here it is something like a special battery. It is not a normal battery because the battery what we use at home for our inverters or UPS, those batteries are different, and this assumed battery is something different. So I said it is a special battery. In case of home, what we have is from battery, the current flows. The current will be keep on coming. So your fan will be keep on rotating. Your light will be keep on burning. But this battery is something different. This will not give you current flow. This battery will give you a current pulse. This is something important. Current pulses. Don't get onto pure physics concepts like either it is a sine pulse or a square pulse. Uh, Forget about that. Just remember, it will be giving current pulses. Pulse is what on and off. Even the blood, what flows in our body, there is no blood flow in the body. The blood is pumped. So you get a heartbeat. The doctor checks the pulse, how many times your heart is pumping that blood. Similarly, this battery is pumping current like a heart. Say it will just release some current and tuck, it switches off. It again releases, switches off. Assume Okay, this concept is called current pulses. Okay, this battery, assume this battery gives this kind of pulses. And now thing is, this battery is connected to all these wires. Say all these wires are connected to this battery. And now something important is every wire has a switch. Every wire has a switch. Just remember this. This assume this is a physical setup you have. Say you have keyboard, within keyboard you have a special battery, and from keyboard you have 8 wires coming out, and all these wires are connected to this battery, and each wire has a switch. Assume this is a physical setup available, and now user hit 5 in the keyboard. The moment user hit 5, as a user hit 5 in the keyboard, now even this is an assumption, and these assumptions will go for a clarification in the next sessions. Say there is a person called Mr. X who is sitting in keyboard. Don't, of course, this is a funny thing. Don't have a funny doubt like, will there be a person sitting in the keyboard? How then keyboard? How should it big it should be? Say, let us not get onto those kind of funny ideology. Just assume there is a person, Mr. X, sitting in keyboard. And the moment you hit 5, this Mr. X, he picked up his paper and pen. He converted this 5 into binary system. Say, of course, it is turned into 101 base 2. And this Mr. X, what he does is, on completion of this work, he picks up that 101, puts on each Y, 101, and prior to that, all zeros. Prior to that, all zeros. And this fellow, on completion of placing this each digit on a wire, he runs to this battery, he presses this battery. The moment he presses this battery, that battery released one pulse, say, for some duration, for a fraction of nanosecond, you say, let us not get onto that count. Say that battery uh, is switched on for some duration, a fraction of a second, and switched off. The moment it is switched on, it released some current flow, and as such, that current flow has been switched off. We said that current flow, whatever has been for that particular time period, is a pulse. Now, that pulse, once released from this battery, it gets onto all this wire. And meanwhile, what this Mr. X does is he runs to this switches, and he identifies wherever the digit 1 is supposed to transfer, he switches on this switch. And be clear, all switches are in off state. He will switch on these two or whatever the wires switches on which one is supposed to transfer, and he leaves all other switches in the off state itself. He never switches off because already they are in off state. Now the concept is uh, that okay, here it is switched on, here it is switched on, all other are switched on because we have only that 1 and 1 here, all other allocations we have zeros. Now comes into picture a fellow called Mr. Y, a fellow called Mr. Y. He touches with his palm and see whether there is a current flow in this wire or not. Say as such, here the switch is not switched on, it is in off state. There is no current here, 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 there is no current here. They he get a current here, he don't get current here, he get a shock. Say he get a shock here and a shock here because these two were switched on. Now what this fellow does is wherever he never gets a shock, he identifies those are zeros, and wherever he got shock, he identifies, he writes them on a paper, they are ones. Now, obviously, he'll write it is some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, 1, 0, 1, base 2. Again, he converts this into decimal system like 2 power 0 into 1, 2 power 1 into 0. 2 power 2 into 1. I'll add it together. It will give you 5. Sorry. And this Mr. Y puts that 5 symbol on monitor. Now see, uh, we may have a question whether, okay, if this pulse is going through this Y, could be there is an effect of resistance on this. Of course, there will be a resistance on that Y, but this Mr. Y never checks up how much voltage, with how much voltage he get a shock. He just sees whether it gave a shock or not, whether there is a current flow in that or not. If there is a current flow, he identifies it is 1. If there is no current flow, he'll identify it is 0. So here, though there is resistance, it has no influence on this particular 5 to be transferred from keyboard into this monitor. Now this subject, this technique, say, unless we don't understand this, we say it is a technology. The moment we understand this, it is a logic applied by a fellow. As such, always there is an effect of resistance on current. How to overcome that problem of resistance is using current in a different way like this. Now, this subject is called electronics. I say electronics is a subject that deals with data transfer and working with the data in binary system with the help of electrical pulses. Say, this is what could be the best definition for electronics. I don't know. Could be technical people who are on electronics, or say who may feel we are very high-end professionals of electronics. Whether they accept or not, I'm least bothered of, because this is what I understood 24 years ago, where I started realizing that the electronics work with binary system. So in my fifth class, my teacher has taught me how to convert a decimal value into binary system. Say almost, uh, it took 15 years for me, almost it took 15 years for me to feel that whatever has been taught by master is useful now. Of course, if I know, all you people know, binary system is taught in fourth class or fifth class or sixth class, somewhere before 10th class, but they'll not tell you why binary system. And the moment you get onto computer, they say computer is an electronic device. You don't know the definition of the electronics. Later on, they say computer understands binary system. You misunderstand that computer understands. Computer has a brain to understand things. Computer never understand things. It is a bloody machine. It works with binary system. It works with binary system because computer is an electronic device. Not only computer, your mobile phone works with binary system because it is electronic device. The moment you get onto a calculator, it works with binary system because it is an electronic device. The term electronics itself, it directly means that that component always works with pulses in the form of zeros and ones. We understand that as 0 and 1. Computer understands that as pulse and no pulse. We say it is binary digit 1. Computer feels it as a pulse. If we say it is the binary digit 0, computer understands it as no pulse. Computer works with pulse and no pulse. We understand that it is zeros and ones, and uh, this is what the way we are supposed to communicate. If you say, but thing is, we cannot even use 101 in the market. Say, I need 101 bananas. I say, I need 5 bananas. We say, but we are supposed to understand how the communication is going on between my mind as a human being, my mind as a computer professional, and as a computer professional into the mission, into the computer. You see, on this globe, whatever is used for computing data is a computer, including your calculator, whatever we call it. It is not a calculator, it is a computer. It is a type of computer, it has its own limitations. Your mobile phone is a computer. Wherever you get a processor that works with zeros and ones, it is electronic device. Say, the final conclusion is your computer. I'll come up with a wrong statement again. Which misguides the computer electronic device. It takes input to do process, give output. Computer understands binary system. This is a rubbish statement that will never let you understand things, feel comfort with subject, whatever you learned. Now, be making all these things correctly. Computer is a mission. Computer is a mission. It is an electronic mission. As such, your computer is an electronic mission. Because it is electronic mission, it works with binary system. Say whatever we have electronic devices at our home, electronic appliances, all these they work with binary system. You get onto washing machine, it is a hybrid machine in which you have a timer where the timer is an electronic component, and whatever the hub you have connected with a drum, it is a mechanical, electromechanical device. All these are hybrid components. Where is that electronic part is wherever you get work done with the zeros and ones format, it is electronic device. And of course, every electronic device has two kinds of components. Every electronic device has two kinds of components, say hardware components and software components. That hardware components and software components we'll have a look in the next session. Yeah, so I hope you people have understood things properly. And as of now, have a good day. We'll meet in our next class.